Our currency really is a cure. I spoke to you earlier about some situations where I reported abuse and lost everything for doing so. But I didn't lose my life. Currency does have cures in it. It even has common causes. I'm a bit bothered today that money is being spent to keep women and children in bondage and put us in bondage. We have preachers like Reverend Larry D. Howard, the pastor of Greater Friendship Baptist Church, who sexually violates us and builds his congregation on that. And people get comfortable with that. And the halls and walls of justice don't correct it or address it for us. I reported my claims to the United States courts, federal, state, and local, and I get shut down for that. You have somebody like Bishop Eugene Ward, who in court on a regular for beating on his wives, and women are just used like a pair of shoes because females are labeled to be things that a man finds. Well, I'm not a thing and I'm not lost. The list continues, as I stated to you in my other conversation with you, about how the mayor of the city of Cleveland, on his victory day in the media, is surrounded by four men who violate, disrespect, disregard, and discount we women and our children. But they know their boundaries because they don't do it to white females, because they know that there's going to be a consequence for that. And if they do, the white females go along with it because they want to throw it up in a woman of color's face that they're sleeping with our males. Currency has cost to it. More than some are willing to pay. And as I stated to you earlier, we need to start meeting people at the ballot box. I've been going to Cuyahoga County prosecutors for over 20 years now in reference to my situation, and not one of them has addressed it for me. As a matter of fact, they helped shut me down, silence me, block me in the media, the press, in the courts, in the church. I raised my children in church and school. Currency has cost me everything, more than some are willing and wanting to pay. I remember Reverend Dr. Larry Howard, the preacher, the pastor of Greater Friendship Missionary Baptist Church on Arlington and Eddy Road in Cleveland, Ohio. My cousin had asked him to give me a ride home. I was a teenager. Well, he asked me could he come in and use the phone. So he came into my parents' home and wanted me to dance for him. Are you serious? I'm not a prostitute. Never have been and never will be. Later, I had fled to Oklahoma to try to get on my feet. And his brother had asked me to come down there because I had met him at Bishop College in Dallas, Texas. And he did some horrible things to me. Well, I went back home for Mother's Day, and Reverend Dr. Larry Howard, the pastor of Greater Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, had me go in his church office, showed me pornography movies, told me he was taking me to dinner. I was going to be his dessert and what he was going to do to me because his brother wasn't serious about anything or anybody. So it wouldn't matter what he did to me. Money has costs. Fortunately, I was able to get away from there. Well, a few years ago, on Veterans Day, I was invited by one of the pastors to go to the revival over at Greater Friendship Missionary Baptist Church on Eddy Road in Arlington in Cleveland, Ohio. And at the time to respond from the visitors, I stood up to respond because it was a citywide revival. Mine being a pastor and Reverend Dr. Larry Howard, Reverend Dr. David Hunter, and the list continues, had me surrounded and ushered out of the sanctuary, and I called 911 for help and had to walk to Black on Black Crime Incorporated in the dark because the police didn't come. Money, currency has costs. I remember Judge James Payne of Indianapolis, Indiana, saying to Bishop Reverend Dr. Preston Crow that my children being robbed and stolen from me in violation of my protection order was the most expensive case ever in his story, in my case, her story. And the Department of Children and Family Services stating that my children and I are too powerful together and to keep us divided. Because James McCafferty and Jill Edwards made some deals across state borders, and Marsha Fudge and Timothy McGinty and Bill Mason and Gerald McFall and the Stokeses and some others. I'm not ashamed to say names. Prosecutor Michael C. O'Malley. I'm not ashamed. What the disgrace is that you all are so complacent and lackadaisical with my matters. What the great disgrace is that I haven't had a place stable to live since my protection order has been violated. What the disgrace is that every effort I make to raise money and to do things to help other people and to get on my feet, you all shut it down. That's the disgrace in your face in this place. I'm willing to have people not vote for you again because you don't help me. I'm willing to meet you at the ballot box to boycott. You're being reelected because anytime you hang around men who abuse me, and you and Justin Bibb, and you all don't do anything about those missing and dead women over there between 93rd, between Bessemer and Union, that we've been rallying about. And you can't tell me that Anthony Sowell situation, he did that by himself because you all supplied him with the resources to do it. So he took the fall, the major fall, for his hand. But you don't do anything for we women of color. And from what I've been told, the state of Ohio is the worst state in the whole United States for we women of color. And I know it because the head girl over the League of Women Voters came to a predominantly event of people of color singing "Chillin', Don't Get Weary" till your work is done with some white woman with a do-rag on her head. What's that supposed to mean? As we stood outside the Capitol 2 years ago. I'm not a nigger and I'm not a slave, never have been and never will be. Handle my matters the way you're supposed to. Get me justice in the courts. I reported abuse. I didn't break a law. Currency cost. The person I've been talking to you all about getting that money for, that the bank decided to hold the person's money hostage, I still need that money too. I need $700 today. You can cash at me at the $ APOSTLETT or the $ the People's Party, which is under the People's President, because I am a presidential candidate for the United States of America for the 2024 election. And this nonsense needs to stop. And all you females that are going along with this nonsense, there's something wrong with you all. You do me in because you think a man is going to respect you. They don't respect you. They don't even like you. They see you as a pair of dirty old shoes. That's why they call you a thing and disregard you. I don't care what color you are. You can Zelle me some money at area code 216-548-0820. All rights reserved. Any attorney who wants to help me, I would really genuinely appreciate it, because I've been blocked in the courts with police reports. Oh my goodness. Because folk want to call me a thing. I was part of the creation process. What are you talking about? A female was there. We're not an afterthought, and neither are our children. Our bodies go out of shape. Our hormones go out of whack. Our appetites change. Our sleep gets lost and changes. While you men can do whatever you want to do when you get ready to. And then the men who do want to do right suffer the consequences of your craziness. The church is not a prostitution ring. It's a sanctuary. And all of you all prostituting women and children, I hope you get shut down starting today. Michael C. O'Malley, Vanessa Costanzo said that she's going to check with you tomorrow to see if you wanted to speak to me or not. I vote. And I know others that do. All rights reserved.